update on TL Bank stuff. And then over season pass and start jamming on that. Does that sound good to you all?
Yeah.
Perfect. Sure. Yeah, I guess why not? Sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure how interesting people will find this, but why not? Couldn't hurt. Recording. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, if you want to just as soon as you got the recording done, post it in the notes. Perfect. Okay. Good deal. Thank you. Okay, cool. So Sprinkles, you want to give a high level update on TL Bank um and any points you want, and then if you want, I could go through we can go through the proposal together and potentially just post it.
Sure.
Um,
Do you want to do the proposal first? Because I have, probably a lot of questions.
yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Okay, taking it from the top. Um, so I I think the proposal is just TLDR. We have these initial amounts. Um, I think the one caveat is just the B dip that TrueCat, like, so the seasons may be changing in their shape. So it's making my math on this one like, okay, we might modify this, and so I'm just going to add like a caveat to these two amounts, and maybe hit the forum, and I'll link to the reason why.
Yeah, high school. Sorry, did you check the Dash master node link I sent to you?
I did not check it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can I quickly run through the way Dash used in master node?
Let's talk about it after we get through TL Bank, and then and the in the season pass, and then we'll hit that. Does that sound
Okay,
good?
no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Just that their own seems to be the best I've seen so far. But we can do that after we are done with it.
They're the best one now.
Yeah, as at the last time I worked with Dash, they seem to be the best. So, and I've not seen anything really close to the master node system they run, but definitely we can talk
Yeah,
about it afterwards.
sounds good. Here, I'm adding it right here. Dash with masternode. Okay, cool. We got it. We'll hit it right after season pass. Okay, taking it from the top. TLDR. Um, devs. We will need devs for website. Writers for marketing write-ups. Operations officers. For functioning, and then design for website. Okay. Background. De facto. I think it's one word. Sprinkles. So, as utility banks, its original to keep up the changes. It's imperative. Utility banks was introduced for the form here. And the one thing. So I'd agree. It has been ratified. So it's like we're we're like a go for use. We just need to, I think, like these specs, like this spec right here,
Yeah.
is like
So
is just what we got to get
didn't
agreements with the DAO.
yeah, we approved that, and like the Treasury Department already approved that, right?
Um, I think that these numbers may be a surprise to the DAO. And so anytime it's a surprise, like we just need to raise that awareness. And so we can hit the fast track on this, and it's like if there's no dispute, everybody's like, hey, looks good, then we're done. We gotta well, but I do think we should wait 7 days on this because um I don't think we've got mm-hmm. Like
7
I
days
think
in Treasury?
no, 3 days in Treasury and then 7 days on the forum.
Okay.
Um and I think that'll just give, I'll talk about it on the community call, um, do a Treasury Department update, and I'll direct like people to it. But otherwise, I think yeah. So we just need to make sure that we raise awareness around these things so that nobody's surprised, um, and um, uh, and I think, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, 2 seasons for 40K Bank. I don't even know how we got a 16-week season. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna keep going. Uh, um, Steel Bank. And I think because I think that the sellable, um, and I think we'll just need to like bold underline that only the minting address receives L1 access, because I think this is something that people like. When I post this to the forum, I'm gonna like put emergency signs around this because this will be something that people go, huh, and they may like. We just need to make sure the DAO is aware. And that's it. Oh, and then yeah, that's it. And then and Ernest, I took your BDIP that was at the bottom of the TL bank, and I just popped it in a different document. But otherwise, you know, and then oh, I'm sorry, that's actually part of the season pass. So we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, cool. We good to go? Is this good to go to the forum? Or should we get? I guess we should get a 3-day vote on in Treasury, shouldn't we?
So the only
Well,
so there I just
there you go.
so my only question is which I mean 3 days isn't a big deal,
Yeah.
but didn't we decide these amounts already?
Yes, we did. We decided on the well, so we decided on the season pass, and the TL bank is a derivative. It was a downstream affect of the season pass. Or, yeah. Or hey, it looks good. Everybody's like, great. Yeah, I think we need to kick off a short, like our governance process in Treasury is to approve this for 3 days, like give everybody a chance to dispute it. I can't imagine anybody's going to dispute it, but I think we should still um um uh we should just move it through, and then pending approval on that, then pending approval on that, then take it straight to the forum.
FYI, I'm just running it through Grammarly to get correct grammar.
Okay, sounds good. Approval of this proposal. Okay.
Okay, so my next question here is, I know that we have Hedgie's information in there.
Yep.
I, went to like get specs for Perchy the other night for the artwork the other day, and I couldn't find them. Went to all their information, and it just, are we sure that we vetted them good?
Who Perchy or Hedgie?
Hedgie, Hedgie.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Hedgie's used by which is a $1 million DAO. Familiar with. So and they shared their
Can you get your Discord server? What happens when you click the Discord server?
it takes me in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're good. I've got them in a.
All right, cool.
Yeah, let me
I just
loop
wanted to
you
make
in.
sure. I just didn't want to.
No, yeah, it's always a good check.
Yeah,
Like,
I just want to make sure.
Yep, never gonna dispute that kind of check with any kind of smart contract stuff. I mean, they've got a bug bounty, they've got a lot of, yeah.
So, and I just wanted to do a double, a double check. There was just I went to schedule an appointment, and there was only one spot available, every day, and so I was like, oh, and then I couldn't get in the Discord server, but I talked to Bear a little bit. He gave me a different website to use, and I got a little bit more from there. I just want to make sure that we
Yeah,
vetted.
yeah. No, it's great. Never gonna dispute that. And let me actually pull you in too. That's right. That's absolutely right. Mm.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I reached out to Jarvis James too, and he gave me some more information. I just wanted to make sure that you guys that know about this stuff say that they're good.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and ask them for um
Mm. Right.
mm, right. Yeah, so I just asked them for the audits because I'm sure that's going to be um um that's a better word. I'm sure that's gonna come up, um, from them. And so let's just go ahead and um, okay. So next steps are we vote on this in Treasury Department, give it a 3-day vote, then take it up to the forum, um, and yeah, I guess Sprinkles. Um, I think it's going to be a proposal because the temp check was what we put up previously. Um, yeah. Yeah, Sprinkles did an amazing job of writing all that in there. Boom, she's like boom, boom, boom. She's even referenced the snapshots that it was indirectly referenced in the snapshot, which I was like, oh, that's clever. But yeah, I think that this is basically just it's in a proposal for consensus and implementation, and so this is the DAO thinks this looks good, and what we're really doing here is we're raising awareness so everybody's like, okay, yeah, it looks good. It's no surprises at the DAO. And then the thing though is that we're taking this and the season pass and we're looping those both into this B dip for levels change.
Yeah. And you comment in there that it equates to L1. I think what you want to say is that um, more specifically, like it's holding TL Bank token. You get the Discord role. So it doesn't equate to an L1 membership. It's actually that locking up will give you the L1 Discord role tag. Like it's just more specific.
Yeah, I think I like this language better personally because the L1 role tag may change over time.
Well, the L1 membership is going to change over time because it's no longer going to be a
that's right.
membership. It's going to be a pass. And the pass bestows a Discord role. So
Right. Well, it's like but a season pass equates to membership. And holding TL Bank equates to membership.
Okay, I buy it.
I'm up for debate always, although I think I feel a little bit
So
that's at least how it works in my head. Okay, either lockup will equate to L1 membership, and L1 membership equates to a season pass or a TL Bank.
Yeah, you
and
actually
that
get
and that
the,
yeah.
the privileges and benefits though. Yeah, I find
Mm.
I think it's clear.
Yeah,
just...
I appreciate the challenge always. Like let's beat it up until we get a diamond.
do we know anyone that's unlocked tokens with Hedgie? Like if they have open source software too, can we just?
Yeah, I did.
And so you locked and unlocked?
Yeah, I locked for a day and then I unlocked it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's good. Again, good checks. Let me see where did I do this?
Yeah, I think I have some unlocking at the end of this month.
Yeah, so here I did. And so I lost the NFT, like it pulled from me, but I locked up 1,000, and then I redeemed.
So you lost the NFT.
Uh-huh.
Is that what we want?
I think
For the-
so. Yeah. It's because it's the NFT is not meant to be a collectible. It's meant to be representative. And so what Perchy's he's kind of ideating on is like, um, he's making like he's like writing like a banknote with like Perchy on as like the figure on the head, with like a Perchy kind of like waving or something like that. With Bankless DAO
Potentially people
symbolism.
wouldn't want to unlock them in order to keep the NFT.
Well, yeah, if they want the NFT, I guess. I mean that's a whole different conversation. Like I would love to see people swapping and trading bank for the or for TL Bank for the NFT. But every NFT will be the same. It will not be a different NFT. Like there won't be like the different like faces and tongues and stuff like that. Glasses.
I can animate people's purchase if they agree to pay me 2,000 bank and lock up 1,000 bank.
There you go. Right. So this is exactly like these are the use cases that start to show up. This is cool stuff. But the lockup, the NFT is not meant to be, you're not like, wow, I love the NFT, I love the art. I'd rather just keep that. He's gonna make it specifically generic, but kind of like a banknote or something like, I don't know.
Well, if you really want the NFT for a long time, you could just ask Perchy, hey, give me a 5-year lockup. I want to hold on. And
right,
you
that's right. But
and you have a record of having it for whatever time you had it, right? So
sure, right.
it's not like it didn't exist or that the information about holding the NFT disappears. It's just you either have your bank locked up or you don't. And if you do, you got an NFT that shows it. If you don't, it's just a normal fungible token.
Right. Well, and that's so it's going to look like, imagine this with like a Perchy and like B in the corner, and I don't know, right? But he's kind of playing with it right now. So
Can we have some kind of Easter egg in there where we feel like for 100 years we'll be getting a super rare?
I think that would be super fun. I think that's like maybe next step, but okay. I think keeping us on target. So Sprinkles, with your approval, I'll kick off a vote on Treasury governance and just flag everybody to approve this.
Yeah, do it.
All right, we're doing it. All right, TL Bank's on the move. Yeehaw. All right, I'm gonna change it to. That's it. Commenter. We're on the move. I'll do it right after this meeting so that like I don't take up the time writing the vote right here while we're talking about it. Any other items you think we need for TL Bank or anything else that I can assist with or help out with?
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of need, I guess, more specifics in order to get it going.
Yep. Okay. So I think that what I would say is
Also,
you
don't have the BDIP template on here. You can't post this into the forum without the BDIP template. You do understand
so
that, right?
this proposal isn't a BDIP.
It's not.
This proposal is this proposal is to get consensus on these items and make sure the DAO knows about it.
Okay.
And also be prepared for it.
Equating it to L1 membership is a BDIP. Because
that's right. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So to get that specific part of that proposal, you have to have that part of the BDIP.
Agreed. So two things in tandem kind of happening. One, we need to update the DAO informationally and make sure that everybody agrees on this specification. Like the DAO is like, looks good. And, we don't implement something that the DAO's like, what the fuck? Or no big surprises. That's, super bad. So first we give the DAO the opportunity, like we post this and give the DAO the opportunity to go ask questions, debate it, talk about it. Hopefully everybody's like, wow, this looks great.
That's a temp check. That's not a proposal.
Well, so it's the
I'm just saying,
Yeah, no,
You
this is
said
good.
earlier it's a proposal, and it has a
Mhm.
specific requirement in it that is a BDIP. So if it's a BDIP and a proposal, it's not up
Yeah,
for
okay,
much
that's
more
fair.
debate, right? You want to get all the
Yeah,
debate done before you go to the proposal. If there's still
yeah,
more
that's fair.
debate that needs done.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so it's a temp check, but mm,
For a proposal.
I'm call yeah. Mm,
If you're wanting
well,
comment and feedback and discussion and debate, it's a temp check. If you're wanting to push it through and then accept any last minute edits, that's a proposal.
I think that's what it is though. Like what I the temp check was we posted up TL Bank and we in at the time it was VE Bank. We posted up Tokenomics 1.0. That's a secondary temp check. This proposal is hey, we're going forward with this. Last chance to debate it. Here's the final specifications, and this is what we're implementing. And so this is like the last chance.
Could we include that background in the document so that people know that this is not out of nowhere?
Yeah, Sprinkles did that.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Sprinkles nailed it. It's first introduced on the form here, here, and ratified indirectly on a snapshot here. So it's like, if anybody's surprised, you go, wake the fuck up. Like where have you been? So yeah, good challenges though, Ernest. I think my like, at least for me and my experience on this one, is that this is the vote on this is approve or reject. And this is just the last chance for anybody to like debate any final bits.
Well, as written, I have to object and reject it.
Why?
Because there's no BDIP template. You're not
And I
using
don't
it.
think there
You
should be.
created a BDIP. Like, I hate to be like a stickler on this, but we have extremely vague governance docs, and you've been like the final blocker on most of posting on a lot of these type of docs, and it leads to a lot of continued like ambiguity. You see? So like, how can, we've had people in the governance department posting BDIPs without using the BDIP template. Are we going to have people in the Treasury department posting BDIPs without using the BDIP template? It just shows that the people in the departments don't understand the Constitution and handbook as it's written or its processes.
Yeah. So as a point of clarification, there's organizationally, what we're talking about here is there's a proposal for things that are happening outside of updating the Constitution. Like, updating the Constitution is its own work stream, which will have a BDIP. This should not be in a BDIP format. This should be, though. Like, this BDIP is a levels change, which would be updating the Constitution.
Which you do in that proposal.
We don't, though.
Yes, you do. You said it equates to a level 1 membership. And if you go, we will have, if that gets approved, we have to update the membership section of the handbook to acknowledge
which will be done
membership level.
Which will be done with a future BDIP.
Not a future BDIP. This is the problem.
Well,
this is the opportunity to do the BDIP.
No, Ernest, this proposal will not go to snapshot. The BDIP though will.
It's okay. This proposal, I'm just telling you why I have to reject the.
Okay. I mean, so at least like, so the way I'm seeing this is that there's the
I know how you
this
see
is
it. And this just continued to bring like ambiguity in my mind to the current governance docs that we have. So
because like a BDIP, this is an implementation. A BDIP is specific to the Constitution, while an implementation proposal, which is what this is outside. Like, this is a like approval for these specifics, like initiating these specifics and engaging like all these different teams, like kind of like an awareness raise. And so that should not be in a BDIP. Like implementation specifics,
an
and
awareness
some of
phase
these
is a
things are
template.
not important for BDIP. A BDIP should specifically and only pertain to the changes that are being done to a constitution, and an implementation of a tokenomic primitive is far outside of the scope of BDIP. In my opinion, this and so I think, to your point, will equate to a lockup to be implemented with a BDIP. And then we can reference this. I think satisfies the criteria that you're looking for.
Why won't this proposal actually goes to the snapshot?
Because this proposal is about doing the work and getting things done. I think that we don't need to take it to snapshot. Like, we can only need to take it to snapshot if we are
you are changing text that is in the Constitution and handbook.
How so?
Level 1 membership. You specifically referencing something that's in the Constitution and adding to it. It's a modification and a change to the Constitution.
It's supposed to be posed as a future change, not as an implementation, right?
Yeah.
At least that was my understanding of it.
Yeah, that's right. With this proposal, we are not changing that. With the BDIP, we are changing that.
Then this is a temp
check. Sure.
It's a temp check, not a proposal.
I would no. Well, so what's the difference between a proposal and a BDIP then?
No, but a BDIP is one of two types of proposals. There are only two types of proposals. Or there's a temp check. Read the Constitution.
I did.
Okay.
I implemented. I helped implement it.
Unfortunately, it clearly states that there's two types of proposals.
Yeah, and
you're referencing
it says that,
level 1 membership,
but that does not.
Which is
but it says that there's two types. It says that there's two types of proposals, but it does not eliminate other types of proposals. Like, I think a proposal is just a raise. Like, official proposals that are recognized by the Constitution are a BDIP and a funding proposal. In my opinion, there can be other proposals, but they don't have to go to snapshot. It's just like, hey, because what we're doing here is we're proposing to the DAO that we gain consensus on these specifics, and that the DAO, because what we're going to do is we're going to go to operations next and say, hey, would you all be up for accepting these work streams? We're kind of expecting that. And additionally, we're going to go to the Constitution, and then we're going to change levels. Like, this is announcing to the DAO and getting approval for that we're going to start changing these things. So to me, a BDIP is one. It's like doing an amendment to the Constitution,
which
for does downstream.
So
this specifically does not.
I'm just saying then this is a temp check, not a proposal.
Sure.
If it shows up in the forums as a proposal, I have to reject it. If it shows up as a temp check, I'll be super happy and stoked.
I think this is semantics. I think it is a proposal. So I'm going to propose it as a proposal because I think it is one. We're letting the DAO know that we're implementing something.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. We are actually proposing tokenomics changes here, right? So wouldn't it actually go to snapshot, or can we just make that in the forums?
So I think we can do it in the forum because it's been referenced so many different places, and we're not pulling on DAO funds, nor are we making a change to the Constitution in this proposal. In the BDIP, we certainly are, which would go. So that's like the next step. I think that.
Yeah, but then any other party can actually make these proposals and lock up tokens, right? That will not be like the official TL bank from BanklessDAO.
That's true. I mean, I think. So I guess the way I'm thinking about it is that when this goes to snapshot, this will TL bank as like an official primitive. like the like the reference of the like the levels changes where TL Bank the rubber meets the road in the Constitution.
So why couldn't this go on forum as a temp check and then directly to snapshot where it's not a BDIP?
Yeah, this is actually a tricky part in the Constitution. Nothing is actually mentioned there, so we can.
So I feel like it is mentioned that there's two types of proposals, but it doesn't say anything about going to snapshot with.
This is improving the membership description of the Constitution.
Well, this isn't.
That one phrase that it equates to L1 membership is an update to the Constitution.
Could be
is all I'm
implemented
saying.
with a BDIP. I agree. Like I don't disagree that point. I think these are the larger challenges. Like I'm not surprised that we're chewing on these here, because these are the larger Constitution ambiguities that we're trying to sort out at the holdout. So I want to make it super clear. All this challenge is 100% welcome, and 100% we want to beat, like, come to ideally some degree of consensus around it. Because I want this to feel good for everybody, and if it doesn't feel good in here in Treasury Department, we gotta keep working on it. Okay, so points of process. We've got Ernest. You think that this whole thing should be a BDIP?
Not the whole thing. The one thing about equating it to a membership is a change to the handbook, which is currently very outdated because people keep, in my opinion, writing poor
I agree with you.
proposals, and it makes it
I
very
can't
difficult to
implement
follow
them.
up, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to prevent a pattern of sloppy governance and, updating of the governance. And so, to me, it's a clear change, just that one line. And if, and in my mind, this is, if there's still work and discussion that has to be done with ops department and developing the streams and deciding on the date that it's going to be implemented, then this is a temp check. And the temp check gives us all the authority that we need to continue with what we're doing to eventually publish the actual proposal that has the BDIP in it and the time that it gets initiated. And, you know, so in my mind, I'm fully supportive of this as a temp check, that since they're, again, it was very confusing. You're like, this is a proposal. Then you're like, no, we got to raise awareness. We got to, there's still more discussion to have. Right. So in my mind, as a proposal, it just needs a very, 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 very tiny BDIP using, the BDIP template for that one specific line, or it just needs to go forward as a temp check. But we're also asking the DAO members, hey, do you want these numbers or do you want different numbers? And so that's a temp check. Another poor thing that people do is they create a proposal and then they have several different polls in their proposal. And so how can you approve a proposal when there's still a bunch of terms being negotiated in the proposal, right? So anytime that you have polls that are variables, and up for discussion, those should be resolved, and then you have the final draft of the proposal to report for people to actually vote on. Like what a perfect example was with the retroactive funding for the event that Synod went to, and the proposal in there is like, this is the average,
I understand.
right? That whole discussion was just because of a poorly, in my opinion, a poorly, not that the whole proposal was poorly written, just that one like
I
small
understand.
part, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's just where I stand, is
Mhm.
that changes, suggests a change. So it needs to have a BDIP as a, I actually think it's more of a temp check than an actual proposal until there's more things hammered out. And because it's, we're specifically asking people, to have discussion and awareness of this.
Yeah, I mean, so I think I agree with like 90 to 95% of everything you've said. Um, I think to me that the I think the difference, or our difference in this, or at least because I have to implement. I'm one of the multi-sig, and we're working on this, but like I can't some of these B dips that come through, I can't implement them because they're not to the template. So agree with you 1,000%. Some of these proposals, like it's not clear step process structure, and that drives me up the wall. I think um the challenge, or at least how I see it with this and how I see proposals, is that um I don't expect debate, but at every proposal there should be the opportunity for it, and that's just how I see all proposals. And then two, um, I see a temp check as, I guess, like what I know the Constitution has defined two proposal types, a funding and a BDIP. I think I see that there are clearly more proposals than just those two. And so, and I don't think there's any way we could define all the potential proposals in the Constitution. Um, Although likely that we need to add like the generic proposal to
If
the
it
Constitution.
if it doesn't involve the Treasury or the Constitution, it doesn't matter.
Right. And
So
so, but,
only
and
the
I still
only
think that's a,
proposals that exist that modify the Constitution or that enact behavior from the multi-sigs is either a funding proposal or a BDIP. Any other proposal is just purely consent-based proposals. Like
Just general proposal which did not actually make any huge changes to the things which is already there, just like the EIP and ERC in the Ethereum world, right?
yeah,
yeah,
right. Yeah. And
and
those are great. But
RFPs are completely within the domain of the organizational unit in the DAO that's exercising that RFP. So ops can do temp checks, they can put up proposals, but largely they don't have to go to snapshot because they're just getting feedback so that they can make better decisions that's in their domain to do, right?
yeah, and so to highlight, I'm going to keep us focused on this. Like RFCs and RFPs are cool things, but like we got to stay focused here. But the thing for this is that this proposal, and I think that what I'm hearing is that you see proposals as, like, I'm as of two types, and that's it, and that they are um um I'm not sure exactly, but for me, the way I see proposals is that um, they don't have to, like, we're proposing a change to the L1 membership, which we will enact with the BDIP. So we are still adhering the Constitution. An approval on this proposal in the forum is not binding until a BDIP happens. But what we're doing is we're saying, hey, DAO, do you agree? Yes or no? And which they should. And even if we did a BDIP, we would still have to do a BDIP. Do you agree? Yes or no? Like this, what this is though, is this is outside the realm of, although a one layer of the L1 membership layers into affecting the Constitution. And I think that
So this is
with
a
with
suggestion.
adding this, well, which is a proposal. We're kind of getting into some semantics, like, but it's
we
at
have
least the
to
way I
because
see
there's
it.
a constitution.
Yeah.
The
Okay. Fair enough.
Constitution is a whole bunch of semantics, and
Yeah,
so
for sure. An interpretation.
that's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying. Like as a proposal, right? It's more of a suggestion with an incoming proposal, right?
With an incoming officially recognized proposal from but I still think I maintain that
Whoops. Okay, you're still
sorry. Yeah, my computer just froze. Hang on. Bringing it back. Okay. So and to me, that, like, I believe that proposals, because there are more than the types of proposals than those defined by the Constitution, but the ones defined. But if you want a proposal to move the track of the Constitution, it has to be a BDIP or a funding proposal, which are officially recognized by the Grants Committee, the Constitution, and so in these things. So at least in this case, what I hold is that like, what, because the bigger thing here and what's important is that we're proposing that here's the specifications. We're going to engage the ops department. We're going to engage outside actors of the DAO, namely Hedgie and Perchy. And so to me, this is above a temp check because we're taking action on this. Like, a temp check is like we're still iterating on a final proposal, and we're not iterating. This is it.
It's not it. They can choose to change the type of bank. They can agree or disagree.
That's always the case, though. Like, I'm gonna at the end of, there's not gonna be enough.
I know how you
bunch.
see things. I understand how you see things. I'm tired of dealing with like vagueness and.
I agree with you. I agree with you with 10,000%. I'm fighting for the same thing you're fighting for, Ernest. I want the same thing. I think I think where we're disputing. Okay. Well, this became a governance meeting, everybody. I think it's relevant here. Okay, a little bit more on this. Let's at least I think we can get this. We can take a vote to the Treasury Department, or the Treasury governance to get approval on all of this thing. I think.
I mean, do we need a BDIP to update the Constitution first so that this can just go in as a proposal? Does that make sense? And that anything else subsequent to this, like this, can just go up as a proposal?
All you would have to do is just update a small amount of text that includes the time lock bank as one of these in L1 membership description. So actually, not this. You would actually have to go to the Constitution, read what the Constitution says about membership, and then just add in the line that says TL Bank is part of the L1 membership.
No, I know.
Like that's.
But does it make sense instead of doing that for this one? Does it make sense to update that portion, to submit a BDIP to update that portion of the Constitution to include proposals such as this, so that there's not only two types that can?
All that would have to be done is adding the BDIP template and adding a sentence in the L1 members section that includes the TL Bank as,
so here's my thinking around that is that I think that what I would like to do is get one BDIP that updates the levels. I guess we could do a super small BDIP, and maybe that's ideal, because if we're debating this much, I can only imagine what'll happen if we bring this up to the DAO. and like people are going to go back and forth. I hope not. But so I think like
So what's the problem with semantically changing to temp check, submitting, getting the feedback that we need, and then just finalizing with the BDIP that we know is needed anyway? I mean, what's the real purpose? Are we trying to implement, or are we trying to get feedback?
yeah, the real purpose is implementation. And so, but
just
it's
get the
all,
BDIP done with it and roll it all together and run. What's the issue? It's work that has to be done anyway, right? We've all agreed that a BDIP is required. I'm trying to get to the
crux of it.
the meat of the bone here, or
Yeah. Yeah, because see, I think that the issue, or at least the issue for me, is that the BDIP is separate. Like the BDIP is just changing the Constitution. There's still, the implementation of this. Like what we're technically doing here is Treasury Department's approving spending 50K bank at least on this, which is likely not enough, but we're going to be snatching people together, and so
what if you get approval on this proposal and then the BDIP doesn't pass? What if you don't get
approval on this proposal?
Approval on this proposal at all?
Yeah, I mean that's the game. Like that's governance in a nutshell. I think
I mean, either it's ready to go or it's not.
I think it's ready to go, but a BDIP is separate than from a proposal. Well, it's a proposal, but
you can just include a small BDIP spec in any proposal, right?
yeah, I guess that's the problem, is that this, like, to fit this into the BDIP template, like the BDIP template is like, it's not like, it's meant to be specific to, we're changing this section, that's it. Like this is what it is, we're changing it to this, what do we expect the impact to be? And so what this TL Bank proposal is proposing a new primitive to the DAO, and so it's outside of a BDIP, which should only be, we're changing this chunk of the Constitution. It should not be new bank primitive at the DAO, new this, new that.
Okay, then strip all membership discussion from the proposal and you're good. Just say we're creating
you just add
a primitive.
line.
It's going to last for 6 months or a year. It's locked bank. That's it. Has nothing to do with membership until there's a BDIP to approve.
But that would work.
That's a way forward.
I'm just suggesting if you're going to draft it as a proposal,
you want to get the work started, right?
That's what this is. Like, it's, so the thing is that, like, we're close to getting everything together. I think
I mean, it's great. It helps people understand the reasons we're doing it. I think it's fair to leave that in and say,
yeah, and I think that's
membership in the future may be decided based on TL Bank, but yeah, we don't have to get even specific about dates. We could say TL Bank will be offered in a variety of times that holders can use or can choose to lock their bank.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't
so
have to get specific. If
yeah,
all you want to do is create the primitive, you don't
right.
have to say what it's for or what it's going to be done in the future. It's a tool.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we've already got that, and like we've got that as a temp check out there. I think that like where I'm sitting with some of this is that I'm gonna have to think about some of this but I don't see the problem with including. Um, I hear it, your point's not
And
bad for sure.
I'm
It's because
not
it's
an expert on governance or the Constitution in any right. I haven't studied these lines and
sure.
the
But
specific text that we have to adhere to. But
yeah, I think the thing is that this is because to your point, we're proposing two interactions with uh like there's two things here being proposed. It's like this isn't just the base um TL bank implementation, which is just, talk to Hedgie, you can lock up however much you want, whenever, what way you want. Secondary is there's like a we're saying plug it into membership as like a season pass, and I think that's where some of the ambiguities is, or some of the debate around this is showing up. Because like we have two things we're proposing here, which is one, initiation of TL Bank, two, um, the tying it to membership in some way, and that conflation is creating things. Three, we're debating what a proposal versus how many proposal types there are at the DAO based on a document that is outdated and deeply ambiguous. Okay. Well,
yeah, so either you want to take the route of taking one step at a time and going methodical, slow, or rolling the dice with something big. And I think that's
a little bit on the bigger one, but I think
always the challenge with the bigger proposal is there's more places to get hung up. And
100%.
yeah.
So we are 6 minutes past, and so I want to be
Sorry.
respectful of everybody's time. It's okay. I think the big thing I think is that um, I appreciate everybody's dispute. I appreciate the discussion and debate. I think that I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit. There may be some path forwards on this. One, you proposed one of simplify it out. I gotta chew and think about it a little bit. Ernest, do appreciate that you challenging and pushing back on things. And for anybody that was like, oh my god, a fucking governance discussion instead of us jamming on tokenomics. This is tokenomics is the intersection of economics, finance and governance. So this is the game sometimes. So with that said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep thinking about this, and we can keep talking about it in the bank utility channel. I'm going to try and get this thing moving forward, and if not, we can keep arguing back and forth. Maybe we take it forward tomorrow. So, and maybe I might generate like some flow charts so that we can highlight, like, so Ernest, you and I can kind of think through or talk out, like maybe we can find some common grounds that we agree on around how this thing can move forward.
I mean, I'm just gonna add the text that I suggest to be added to the proposal doc, and you can take it out again if you want, and post it however y'all want to.
Yeah,
So I'm not proposing that there be a BDIP and that other people should write the text for there being the language for the BDIP on there. I'm just going to add it, and then it can go up to a vote, and folks can decide what text they want in it or what they don't.
Yeah.
I don't need to spend another hour discussing it when I could have spent 20 minutes just like writing the suggestion.
The writing or the work is not what I'm concerned about. You've actually done a lot of the work. What I'm concerned about is the proper process um, and organized work streams. That is my only concern in this. And so the work, it's fine. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But for me, it's all about the process and um, and there, I think there's some like some dispute on proposal definitions we have around this. But and then lastly, that we have like the BDIP properly organized in a BDIP, and we can post them to the forum at the same time. But for me, I'd want them to be in separate posts.
Yeah, I just think that continued pattern of behavior is going to continue to lead to us having very vague governance docs and hangups and blockers and keeping it updated.
Yeah, and that's like I think the problem with the BDIP process right now is that people are not actually using the template,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and so right, and
You keep taking the
I
template out of the proposal. Makes no sense to me.
this we can we can post a BDIP and it should only look like this. All this other stuff that we've got talking about in TL Bank should not be in a BDIP. It's far too much to be in a BDIP.
No, if people wrote proposals correctly, they would have the BDIPs in the proposals, and that's exactly how they'd look, and it'd be super easy to update and modify.
I kind of agree that a proposal that touches anything BDIP related should just have the BDIP included in the proposal.
Yeah. Again, it's, and the only thing.
It's like, that's how you close the loop.
Yeah, and the only thing that requires, again, two types of proposals, because all we're talking about is that it changes the Constitution, it's some type of improvement proposal, and if it requires some kind of action by the multi-sigs, then it requires a funding proposal. Right? That's nothing else is even, everything else is within the domain of the organizational unit that's moving the action forward. And people keep saying there's other types of proposals, but I haven't seen anybody actually give an example of that either. So I want to push back on that broad statement.
Sure. Sure. And I can give you, I mean, I've written different examples of them. But I think it may end that we unfortunately disagree with it, but I think that I see like a proposal as just a proposal. A BDIP is a BDIP, and a BDIP is a change to the Constitution, and maybe it can be included in the proposal. But I think how that doesn't work for me and like as a multi-sig is that like BDIPs are their own explicit work stream to be focused on versus like proposal, which can be, you know, a tokenomics implementation or something else. And then
tokenomics implementation is a tokenomics proposal. It's not a DAO proposal.
It can be a DAO proposal.
Yeah, I mean it could be, but I'm just
yeah. It's like a tokenomics proposal. A proposal is just a proposal, and that of which there's two that are recognized by the Constitution. That's it. There's a million. There's plenty. You can say a proposal is any number of different things, but it's just a proposing to the DAO X, and there's two that the Constitution recognizes and which have downstream effects. Beyond that, it's completely ambiguous, and good that it is too. Yeah. Anyway, all right, everybody. We're 13 minutes past, so going to be respectful of everybody's time. Do appreciate the discussion and the debate. I think that there's more here. I got to think about pass forwards on this. That's a wrap. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one.
You too.
See you guys.
We'll see what
Yeah.
he thinks. We might need to find somebody else. GM
Hey,
Ernest.
Ernest.
Hey,
Yeah.
sorry, Treasury meeting ran long.